Welcome everybody back to Waterbox Live. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to. We got a cool episode for you guys today.
Yeah, pretty exciting. We are starting our all-in-one Peninsula 65.4 build, which is actually going along with ORA as a full aquaculture system. So
I'm very excited about that aspect of this, by the way.
yes, very cool. Let's get it started.
We are back! The producer said we were too weak on that intro.
I thought he was going to say, let's get it started. I didn't know. I said it. I was confused. But I promise we know what we're doing. So, but today is the beginning of, I think we're very excited about this build. It's one we've wanted to do for a while. Now that we have the studio, it's kind of our focus for our Wednesday show. For the next 8 weeks, you're going to be with us on this build. And this is a fully aquacultured system with all livestock coming from ORA. It's amazing. We've done a lot with them. They're amazing. They're great over there.
Yeah.
And they're one of the pioneers in the aquaculture of this industry and the hobby. So lots of cool stuff coming with this.
I love this one because we're using, again, all ORA, fish, corals, and vertebrates.
Yep.
We want this whole system to be fully aquacultured. We're using the CaribSea Life Rock, so when we're going to show you that today, really, really neat system. And this kind of shows you guys that it's possible to go and set up an aquarium without pulling anything out of the reefs.
Yeah, so fully sustainable, nice 65-gallon. It's one of our newer models, which is a Peninsula all-in-one. And so 4-foot version, so it's going to give us a lot of space. And today is aquascaping and getting it filled. But along with this build, of course, we have a giveaway.
We do.
So
another one in tandem. We got one on Wednesday. Well, yeah, two builds going at the same time, both with a giveaway. We're giving away an all-in-one 65.4
Peninsula. Yep.
Peninsula.
Y'all are lucky we have a studio now because there's more builds, more giveaways, more content. It's great. So we can take a look at the page that you can go to on the website.
Yeah. So here you go, guys. This is just like our other builds. This is a guide to all-in-one aquariums. To get to this page, you can do two things. You can click the videos link up at the top of the page, or you can go to waterboxaquariums.com/all-in-one. That'll get you here as well. So you can kind of see the giveaway here. You can see we're including a Sicce Syncra pump with it. And again, fill out the information. You're going to get one entry just to fill out your information, subscribe to our newsletter, and then you're going to get a number of social actions just like we do on the other ones. You can get more entries by following Sicce on Instagram.
Yep. Definitely check them out.
Following us on the different platforms, YouTube, Instagram, etc. So the more entries you get, the more chances you get to win. So definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the all-in-one Peninsula because it gives you that room divider kind of look, or just something like that you need that can stick out from the wall a little bit more. But it's a very manageable size. It's got still 4 foot in length, but it's just I'm really excited to show you the aquascape and stuff that we did. So earlier today, went ahead and mocked up the scaping for this aquarium so we can get an idea, because peninsulas are a little bit harder to aquascape, so kind of pre-planned, and we have a video to show you of that. Aquascaping a peninsula can be a little bit challenging, so we're going to show you some tips and tricks on how to aquascape yours. We're currently going to be using the Waterbox bundles from the CaribSea Life Rock to aquascape this peninsula. It originally came out of one of our previous builds, so we're going to be using that. No matter what size aquarium you're aquascaping, it's really beneficial to kind of mock it up and aquascape from there. So we're using a table, and I folded this towel into the same size as the inside of the aquarium, so that whenever you're scaping, you can make sure you have enough room around everything and really see it kind of in real life in the aquarium. couple key things you want to keep in mind whenever you're aquascaping a peninsula is you really want to have enough space on all 3 sides that you have room to clean your glass, and also that you don't have corals and stuff up right up against the glass, room for fish to swim. So what we did is we left a few inches all around each side. And then also, because of the shape, you want to make sure you've got some really nice see-through caves. Because you figure a lot of times this is dividing an area, so you want to be able to kind of see through. We have a lot of tunnels, caves, the arches in the CaribSea rock is really helpful for that. And we're just making sure there's a lot of open space for the fish, but also good surface area for the corals to grow. And then one thing is always make sure you don't make it too short or too tall. So we actually take measure and we keep an eye on where the water level is going to be. And build up pretty close to that, and then I've kind of arched down. All right, we got our aquascape done, pretty happy with it. Our next step is to get it into the aquarium and get it filled up.
There you have it.
All right, so another Jessicascape.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, fantastic as usual.
Turned out really nice. Telling you, using the CaribSea Life Rock has been like a lifesaver in these aquariums, especially peninsulas, because you've got the arches and it all interlocks so nicely together. And you know, those open arches, even in a non-peninsula style, is so nice because a lot better water flow. The fish have so much room, they're happier, they're more active, but you still have tons of space for the coral. So I love CaribSea Life Rock. I can't lie.
I do too, and I want to mention to you guys that we do have bundles pre-built for all of the Waterbox sizes. So if you want to, you know, if you're buying a 65.4 Peninsula or a Reef LX or anything like that, we've already set up and done the homework for you in regards to how much and what types of Life Rock you're going to need. So again, if you're in the market or you already own one, you can hop right on waterboxaquariums.com, pick that up. We also have Life Rock available in the UK currently, Canada. It's coming to Europe very soon too.
Yeah, so definitely check it out, especially if you're starting up a new aquarium. It's going to be your favorite rock to work with for sure. And I don't know if we have any questions before we go over to the aquarium. It might
I have
be.
a question here, but I want you to mention something. We have somebody, Alejandro Murrieta, is saying that he bought some merch and didn't get the points for the merch. Let them know that it takes up to 24 hours for it to go through. So if they don't see it in a day or two, then contact us.
Yeah, so like they were saying, you guys, if you've bought merch or apparel to get points on any of our giveaways, give it 24 hours for that to update. If it doesn't update, shoot us a message. We can verify the purchase and post the points or the entries to your
Yes.
your account.
We did also have another question about where this giveaway is available.
Yes, so this giveaway is valid in the United States, but we do not forget about everywhere else. We are gonna, we very
We're
shortly.
working some other stuff.
Yes, we will. We're working on some things to bring these giveaways to Europe, UK, Canada. So don't you worry.
Stay tuned. Promise.
Yes.
Promise. So, all right. Olive Richmond said, Jess, what do you use to epoxy the rocks together? For the most part, I don't epoxy rocks, and only there's one piece in this scape that is, it's like a dual arch that kind of made crisscross. And that one I did, and I used the Marco mortar type of stuff. You can use a lot of different types of epoxies, but that's the one I used for that. But it's the only piece that I did. I really aim to have pieces just interlock without the epoxy or any kind of mortar involved, because you might need to change it. You might need to get to a spot that a fish dies and the body goes under, a coral drops and it gets somewhere. If all your rock is put together, you're gonna have a really hard time getting to any of those spaces. And honestly, a lot of times you want to change your mind a little bit later on how your scape is. You might say, oh, the flow is really bad in this spot because of. So I really try to not epoxy or mortar a rock if you can avoid it.
Yep, I agree. Andy says, what's the difference between a peninsula and a normal tank? Well,
Longer.
Yeah.
Well, longer with the overflow on an end.
Right. So the idea between the peninsula, or the idea of a peninsula is to divide your room. So rather than having the aquarium running long ways against a wall, it's running out perpendicular into the room.
Yep.
And you can also view the aquarium from both sides. So if you have a living space that you want to divide, it's a great way to go.
Yeah. So if even as a dividing rooms, just physically, if you had the ability to have it just stick out into a room or somewhere, that the ability to see through it and also be able to walk around and put corals around all sides of it is very cool. But like I was saying, in the aquascaping, it does present different challenges for scaping
Sure.
because in your normal aquarium, a lot of times you can kind of like make your rock and have your back wall as some support,
Right.
which can make it a lot easier and you can get more depth. But when you have a peninsula, you can't touch anything. So you have to be really kind of mindful of that when you start to scape a peninsula. You
Yeah,
don't have
which
enough
is-
room to put your arm around and scraper and corals to be able to grow and stuff. So.
Which is great the way that Jess earlier and in the video set up the aquascaping. She used, a template to make sure that the rock was, far away from the glass so she can clean it, so on and so forth. It's very important, I think, especially with a peninsula, to lay your rock out before you actually
I'll tell
get
you, it's a
into the
lot
tank.
less frustrating to scape outside of the aquarium first than it is to go in there and you're hunched over and you're trying to like pull rocks up and out and then they're doing, it's a lot more peaceful to do it that way, and you can
Stressful.
walk around and like mess with it. And then, as we're gonna do here shortly, is attempt to move that beautiful scape into the tank in that exact form,
Yeah.
which may or may not happen.
This is
We'll
being
see.
done live, so just remember that. That's the beauty of live.
We'll see. I see if we
Risks.
can do a transfer to actually make it stay the same look because it is wedged at certain angles and perfectly for everything to
Yeah.
not be mortared together or epoxied. So,
Yep.
are we good?
One more, because there's a follow-up to that, so I thought it was good.
Oliver says, how does the flow in a peninsula differ from a regular? It is, it can be slightly more challenging, not by much, because I think with modern day Powerheads and stuff, you can really get any kind of flow pattern you want. For this one, we're going to use like Nero 5s. You can also use the MP10s. And because they have different flow settings, you can really place them either on the one short end or put them over with your overflow. We also have, we're using the Sicce, which is a great flow percentage for the aquarium.
Yep.
And you can adjust your return nozzle too. So it can be a little trickier, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, so we're gonna go over and start setting up this aquarium.
Cool. And I got the questions coming with me on my phone. If you guys have questions, by all means, put them down below and I'll try to get to them. We got a lot of people chatting away.
All right.
So
I don't know where I should be at.
Yeah, you're good right there.
Okay. So first thing, tank's completely empty. We haven't moved anything over. I do want to say, since we'd scaped this earlier, what I've done is actually covered it in wet paper towels and been spraying it down throughout the day. Since this did come from an existing tank, I wanted to keep some of the bacteria alive just to help stabilize the tank a little bit faster. And this is going to help kind of keep it from drying out completely. So just a little side note, moving aquarium, scaping, have live rock, good trick to do, cover in wet paper towels and just keep it sprayed down for the day. And we're going to go ahead and set up the all-in-one peninsula. What's going to come with it in the box here is you've got your filter sock holder. There are dual filter socks for the 2.75 inch. And then we also have filter media packs. This is going to have the sponges. Yeah. It has the sponges, includes bioballs if you want to use them, and also some activated carbon. They're in resealable zipper bags. Really great media bags in general, even when you're done with that. That comes in there as well. So what we did is we're using the Syncra Silent 2.0. It's a perfect pump for this size aquarium. Fits in the chamber perfectly. And we have cut the included return line tubing to the proper height. And we're going to go ahead and just go and put that into the return chamber.
Victoria says spray with DI or salt. We were spraying it with salt water.
Salt water for sure. All right, so that simply is going to go into the return chamber. This nozzle goes through the glass into that. Putting that on up. So these are really, really once you get them up in place and on the cabinet, setup is pretty quick. You can see the return nozzle is very directional, which is going to help with the peninsula style. So there is that. In the middle is where you're going to put your foam blocks, carbon, any other media.
Again, you guys, if you want to enter into the giveaway to win this 65.4, which we'll draw at the end of this build series, head over to waterboxaquariums.com/all-in-one.
Oh yeah, we're giving away 2 shirts too. Forgot to mention
Yes,
that.
so make sure you guys stick around until the end. We're giving away 2 Sicce shirts.
Yes, so CJ's going to give away
So-
some shirts for us. So we got our filter sock holder, socks. Filter socks, I feel, are the best because they're going to polish your water. They're going to collect all your debris. And your water's really going to clear up quickly after setup, but also just in general, it's great filtration. And with this one, you have 2. I'm going to go ahead and just put them on in. Filtration's super simple, but it's effective. So we've got, so here you go, water's coming in to your filter socks. Here, it's gonna go through your 2 filter sock. Pretty much all your water's gonna get filtered, debris, everything comes out. To the middle chamber here is gonna be your filter media and sponges and return pump. Also, you can of course put in, you need a heater. Some people will use a protein skimmer. Leave that up to your discretion here. And that's all you need to get the tank up and running physically with the back filtration area. So next is gonna be throwing in some sand. You're gonna pour one in with me?
Sure.
So we're using the CaribSea
We got
BG Pink.
NC474 giving us the support on smashing that like button.
All right. We'd like you liking the button. All right, so we're using live sand, of course, because it is always helpful in your cycle to add in the live bacteria that comes in here. All right, BG Pink. The CaribSea is most popular as far as their live sand goes is the Fiji Pink. And there are little baggies of
It's like
clarifier.
bioclarifier.
So do try and find those when you're putting the sand in. Let me take that. So like here's one. And these are good, just put them in towards the end. It does help kind of clear the water up a little bit faster. So find those, because I've moved tanks before and didn't find them all and found them however long later that I moved and took the sand out. I'm like, oh, there's one.
Oh, forgot about
Not
that.
that it hurts anything, but it does more good adding it to the water than it does sitting under your sand bed. All right, I'm just gonna.
Someone asked, how's the weather in Florida? It is very hot. And I think I also hear a
is
thunderstorm.
hot.
You
I
hear a
think-
thunderstorm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Summer is here early. I mean, it's a heat index of like 105, 107.
Yeah, this week's brutal. Brutal.
It's rough. But we never really get a winter, so I guess we've got to take it. All right. Doesn't have to be perfectly even because it'll kind of naturally settle, but I choose to put sand in before rock. It's a heated debate. We go through this every time, but
That's true.
just putting it out there right now.
I'm waiting for it. Someone's going to say it. Why are you
Someone's
doing
gonna
that?
say it. But I do also make sure that I put the rock into the stand pretty well so that it has a good solid base in it already. All right. So,
Oh,
all right.
dirty
Gonna
hands.
Remove the paper towels from the rock.
Reveal your masterpiece, Jess.
Yes.
Remove the bounty
They've
of paper
already seen
towels.
it.
Oh, that's true. Dang it. I thought this was a live reveal.
Oh man, no. So
Unbelievable.
Like I said, this is just to kind of keep the rock wet and
Yeah.
some of the bacteria alive. So we're transferring some of the good into this aquarium. So the trick comes, how in the world to put this back jigsaw place into the aquarium. And it may or may not work perfectly. But what I'm going to kind of do is you're going to help me, is I'm going to deconstruct kind of in layers. And the top pieces are going to be like the top. And then, so
You're
this
taking
is
the
single.
top off, putting it to the side.
So those are the tops. This is the top. And that's the piece I talked about that I mortared to kind of make that like crisscross. I've actually used this in a couple tanks. I do
Speed
love,
aquascaping.
I do love the way that it turned out on that. So
I can tell you that I've never seen as nice of aquascapes come out than with having live rock now. That's the coolest thing about it.
yep,
These
I
are
forgot how
super
that
nice.
went already. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna start on this side. What I'm gonna do is have you hand me like each piece kind of going this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my little islands and kind of see what we can do. It may not be exact, but we're gonna try. Where'd this one go?
And then next week when you guys tune in, it'll magically be exactly the same.
It may get touched up a little bit, which is fine.
You just want the base pieces, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put them where I believe that they belong.
So there's 3
Okay,
here.
that's the top.
Top. Do you want?
Put that off
Yeah.
here. These are the 2 back ones. So I'm gonna try and do this systematically.
No pressure.
No pressure.
There's only 150 people watching you live, so don't worry about it.
All right. This is so not going back together, right? All right. That is all I'm going to say at this moment.
That's all right.
Maybe it'll become even better, but the base is there. The base understanding of where we want it to be is there, and that's what matters. It's just the finding the balance of the arches. Because like I said, I don't really...
It's a heavy one.
I don't mortar
By all
much.
means, take more time than we're taking right now to actually put your, you know.
Yeah.
But this is live.
Like I said,
We
this
have
may
time
not go
constraints.
back together the exact way that I showed you in that video, and that's okay, because I will probably come back and mess with it a little bit more. This is definitely that way.
Can I help you in any way?
Not at the moment. It's just figuring out how they all nestled in. It may have been...
See if I can grab some questions while you're working on
All
that.
right, I'm just gonna try and put them into...
Katrina says she really wants a bigger peninsula. I agree with you. You should absolutely get a bigger peninsula.
We're not arguing with that fact
Andy says,
whatsoever.
have you ever guys been to the UK? Andy, I've only actually flown through the Heathrow airport. I was supposed to be in the UK last year. We all know why that didn't happen. Hopefully soon.
This piece is gonna mess me up. Where did this one go? As you see, pre-planning it doesn't always work out perfect, but I'll be all right.
Ed says, how wide is the tank? It's 20 inches wide. It's this aquarium's the all-in-one Peninsula 65.4. We also have a regular Peninsula that is the kind that runs horizontal with the wall. So this one's really cool though. I like this tank. It's kind of got like a, I don't know, I like the dimensions. It's a bit shallower than the reef ready version.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna see.
You had these guys in there too.
Yeah,
propping
that
something
one
up.
secured this guy because it was a weird angle, and the angle got weirder. So.
Here, I'll throw these guys in there. So
right.
grab them as you need. Do you want me to hold anything?
No. Like
A
I
few
said, it's
people in the
just gonna,
chat say they have anxiety while you're doing this.
I think it's just gonna come down to some fine tuning, or maybe it just takes on a whole nother persona.
We got Miguel from Brazil here with us. That's cool. Waterbox is available in Brazil, by the way.
Ooh. We're available almost everywhere now.
Yeah.
Not many places you can go and you're like, I can't get a water box.
Reach out to Shark BR. They're our distributor down there.
All right. It is not perfect, but I still like it. So basically what I'm gonna do is, as there's more time, I'll go in and kind of adjust the angles of them to see, and that's why like pictures of if you mock it up are great to see how it kind of looked when it came together and just get that kind of more arching look to it. But it's enough to get this aquarium filled and up and running. You can mess around the rock as much as you want later. But this way it is just getting going here. And then we're going to
Fill her up.
fill her on up. All right, and we've got this going from our water vats out in the back with a long old hose. So I'm gonna put this on the rock. Ideally when you fill it, you wanna either have your hose going onto the rock so it can gently go down, or onto like a sponge or something so that it breaks up the pressure going into the sand. Otherwise you're gonna kick up a whole lot of the debris from the sand, and it's gonna take a lot longer to clear. So let me just turn on our pump.
Grant says, how long to store the Life Rock not being used? So Life Rock comes dry, so you don't have to worry about that. The reason that we had this rock covered in wet paper towels and we were spraying it down is we took this out of our Peninsula 3620, 4820?
3620.
3620. So it had already been in the tank. We wanted to, you know, maintain the, you know, the bacteria on it as well as we
much
could.
as possible, yeah.
So we kept it wet. But when you receive Life Rock, it will be dry. It has a dormant bacteria on it. You get it in the tank.
Yeah, we didn't want to lose all the bacteria, so we wanted to go ahead and preserve what we could off of it. No reason to let Live Rock now die, because that one's been up and established for a while, but we did take that down and are doing this build here. And just to go show, we even have a copepod running around in here just from the rock. Well, he's getting kicked around by some water, but as you see, because it is splashing kind of off the rock and not straight into the sand, the water that's filling already is not going to be that cloudy.
Mm-hmm. So it'll really only take
See,
probably...
I'm kind of okay with the rock as it is now. I may or may not
Yeah,
adjust
they all
it.
love it. I love it.
It's just that there's one arch that isn't in the right spot, but I can work on that.
Yeah.
But it gives that nice pass through. There's a lot of open viewing space, because if you do a peninsula and you jam the rock up and you don't have any of those caves, it's like it's no longer see-through. So it defeats the purpose kind of the peninsula style. So that is just going to go ahead and fill. I think we're going to go and take some questions while it fills up.
Reefer Build says, would you recommend Life Rock versus Live Rock or Dry Rock? I know there's a large debate. Well, I think our opinion's already been displayed.
Yeah.
I love the Life Rock.
I do.
I think it's great.
So there's some bonuses to every, like Live Rock itself comes from the ocean, it's coming off the reef, so no, it's broken off, whatever, it still is coming out of the ecosystem. That's the downside of that. Also, your like shapes can be very limiting on what's available. A lot of the places that have really nice rock, Tonga and stuff like that, are shut down from collection. You're most likely going to find Fiji and stuff like that that's going to be a little bit bigger and bulky rock. It's harder to work with. You can also get different types of crabs and pests and stuff like that that you don't want in your aquarium. So there's your big thing, but it does come in with a very nice establishment of different types of bacteria and microfauna that you're not going to get from dry. So you got that. Completely dry rock, a lot of times it doesn't have like nice color or shapes. You know, like this I like because it's purple, and this actually has the bacteria seeded on it.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing rocks.
It's
consistent in regards to shapes because it's man-made, and the shapes have been relatively predetermined. So you know what you're going to get. It's going to look good. It's going to be much easier to escape. You're not going to get any hitchhikers. To me, that's a no-brainer. It's already seeded with bacteria. There's no die-off.
Yeah.
There's no smell. There's no curing it.
I like in general too, because you can order it like in advance or before you even have your tank set up. And you can spend, if you want to, weeks playing around with your aquascape, mortaring all you want. Because it starts dry, it doesn't matter. You know, this instance we did move from one tank to another, but like you could spend as much time as you want mortaring it to exact shape and stuff if you want to choose it that way, without having to worry about it being live and out of water as well.
Yep.
So
Good stuff.
all right. MarXman9573, where will the wave makers go on the peninsula? You can do it a few ways. Put it on the back wall if you want, depending on the magnet side and if it is going to be submersible. Otherwise, generally for your most fluid flow, it's going to be on the other side. But you can easily take something like an MP10 or a Nero 5 and run the cord up the light arm, because it will be running a Peninsula light rail with Hydras on it. It's going to run right up it. You could extend it that way so it doesn't show extra cords.
Yep. One thing that back in the day, what people used to do, and this is long before the roomless style aquariums, wouldn't work with this. I just want to mention it because it's kind of neat, you know, looking back. When a lot of people had canopies on their aquarium, they would run like a closed loop system. So they would run a, you know, PVC hidden in the canopy, and then just one little elbow poking down into the end of the water, like towards the end of the tank. And that would give them that circulation from the other side without taking away like the appeal of the peninsula.
Old school facts.
Yeah. Van Joe says, in this AIO build, are you going to utilize things like a skimmer, UV, ATO, etc.?
We will be doing an ATO.
Yeah.
So won't be doing a UV. I'm not a big fan of UVs in reef tanks. I don't think they're really necessary. They can do more harm than good. And skimmer, I guess, would be to be determined. Not really sure.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Jamel says, does the pump come with the tank? It does not, but you can easily purchase on our website whenever you buy the aquarium. Sicce is a great pump. It's got a nice long warranty. They're great quiet pumps. It's definitely worth a few extra bucks than a cheaper pump.
Yeah. Can you guys switch?
Come with the giveaway.
And it does come with the giveaway. If you win the aquarium, you get the pump.
Sicce is sponsoring a lot of this build. We're giving away shirts, 2 shirts at the end of this episode. We're giving away a pump. There's going to be lots of other surprises throughout this build series.
Yep.
So definitely tune in because there's always a chance to win something.
There is, and you get to see an awesome aquaculture system from beginning to end on this one.
Can you guys switch over to that real quick? Show them how clear that water is.
Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Nope. Yes. Nope.
Yeah, he's got to give a minute here.
Denied. Denial of service.
We'll come back to your question, Victoria, I promise. There you go. So yeah, so by adding it not as super fast and without it crashing into the sand, when this is up and running and you turn it on, you're still gonna be able to see in there. And like, it kind of sucks, you know, you set up your aquarium, you're so excited, you got your rock in there, and then you do it and you can't see anything.
It looks like milk.
For like 2 or 3 days because it's so much is kicked up. So definitely just those small little things to think about, that this is going to be, when we turn it on, pretty much we're going to see the beautiful aquarium. So, all right, back to Victoria, sorry. Victoria, how many and what types of lights for the peninsula? So it depends on the size. The all-in-one, do we have a plus? No.
No, but we're going to use the Hydras on this one, I believe, right?
Yeah, so we don't have a plus edition for this just because the only way to really do the light rail, like a peninsula, is with the Hydras. So we're going to use the 48-inch light rail kit and the 2 Hydra 32s on it for this one.
Yep.
Okay. Here's a good one.
This is a grenade. Andrew says, looking at your 4-foot peninsulas, can you give me some pros and cons for the 4820 versus the all-in-one? That is a good question.
They're the same thing except the overflow orientation. The 4820 all-in-one or the sump version?
Oh yeah, they're talking about the Reef Ready. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, so
never mind. I thought you meant the all-in-one 4820 versus the all-in-one. Never mind. Got it.
Yeah.
The other one is a 65.4.
Gotcha. Okay. Then yeah, so the 4820 is the sump system, more water volume. It's going to have room to put a larger skimmer, larger return pump. You've got reactors, space for heaters. You're not going to see any of that equipment in the back. You know, that's going to be your main difference, is that sump gives you extra water volume and space for equipment.
Yeah.
And also, you're going to have a top off built in there.
Right. So if you're looking to go a little bit more advanced, add a bit more equipment than this one. It's got a little bit larger system volume, obviously. So it's really kind of depends on what you're looking to keep. If you want to keep like a much more complex reef and run dosers and do all these other
You would have to have the sump
kinds of
system.
things, yeah, go with the sump. If you're looking to just keep like a relatively simple system, live rock fish, few corals, go all in one.
Yeah. Bee crust. Will the CaribSea bundle for the all-in-one 65.4 come with pieces similar to what we see? Yes. So this is using Arch's original and shapes, which is exactly what that bundle comes with. Is those 3, which is going to give you, I think, 4 to 6 arches to work with. It's going to give you a little cave. It's going to give you a little donut thing, and then some of your just base shapes. It's going to allow you to really work with the peninsula style. So I designed the bundles and I really made sure a lot of them had enough arches, because I think the arches give so much more aquascaping choices with it without having just a lot of big pieces.
Yeah, and if you guys want, obviously we offer the pre-bundled kits where we do the homework for you for all the models. If you want to just go a la carte and you say, I want, you know, 2 boxes of this, 2 boxes of this, 1 box of that. If you want to do that, that option's there as well. So you can just buy the different boxes that CaribSea offers right on our website.
Yeah, so bundles are just to simplify it for what I think it gives you the best options. You know, a lot of times you're going to have pieces left over, but you'd rather have too many pieces to choose from than I have these 4 pieces and that's all I can use. I have to figure something out. So a lot of times you will have a little bit of extra left over, but that's
And if you want a beautiful aquascape like that over there, Jess designed these packages, so
I did.
There you go. Marine Reef Life says, today I ordered a Marine X35.1. I'd like to ask, which return pump do you recommend, and about the skimmer for this model?
We have blueprints.
We do.
We do. So we have blueprints on each page with the models. It's going to tell you all the recommended equipment that we would put on there. Skimmers, torque reactors, all that stuff, return pump. So definitely check that out. It'll give you a guideline for every model.
Yeah, so again, if you guys head over to the MarineX page on any of our websites, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a section that's called Blueprints.
Yep, and I'll set you up for everything you need suggested by us. I know how we set them up here.
Yep.
Yeah, for now.
All right.
All
Kenan
right.
said that's it for now. So the tank is getting there. It's not a fast process, but like I said, better that and have it all clear and stuff instead of kicking up. Because a lot of debris comes in live sand. It's one of the trade-offs of using live sand is you can't rinse it. Using dry sand, you can rinse it and make it all
Right.
clean, which is a complete pain. But bringing on that bacteria, it's worth kind of a little bit extra cloudiness.
And I don't know if you mentioned that, but you bring up a good point. Don't rinse your live sand.
Don't. I mean, okay, technically you could if you use salt water, but that'd be a lot of salt water and a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Just do what we're doing here. Just don't stir it up.
Yeah, and then like you said, your filter socks are gonna clear up anything that's left over. It will, by the next day, you're gonna have a little bit of residue probably around the top, and then just clean that off, change your filter socks, clean them, and you'll be cleared up in no time.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
T-shirt.
Oh, it's t-shirts, yes.
T-shirt time.
T-shirt time. All right, ready?
Yes.
All right, we're drum roll.
The drum on the side. Yeah.
It's you.
Margaret Waldarski. One more time. I missed the second one. So we got Robert Faulkner as well winning the Sicce t-shirts. Again, we guys, just so you guys know, we changed the email. Email winners@waterboxaquariums.com. They'll get you hooked up.
Woo! Congratulations.
Congrats.
These are really cool shirts too. Got the Sicce logo, but on the front and to the back, it's
Yep.
got the whale, which is very cool looking. So
Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
it is a nice shirt. So
Good design.
you'll see a lot more of those. We're gonna have some giveaways with Sicce throughout the episodes. Like I said, we are here for 8 weeks on this bill. We get to bring in ORA into the mix, and everything from inverts to fish to coral, everything is ORA. So I'm really excited for this one.
I am
think
too.
it'd
It's
be
gonna be
cool
really
to do
neat.
a 65-gallon fully aquacultured system, and just promoting sustainability. Less coming out of the ocean is a big thing that we always try and work for when we can. Is aquaculture, and this one's going to be 100%.
Yeah, I
Nothing
love it.
coming from
It's
the
going to be
ocean.
really cool.
So we're getting there on filling. It won't be completely, but I don't know if we're watching the whole thing fill.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna fill and we're gonna turn it on.
Yeah,
so.
we'll get back with you guys next week on the progress of this build. We're not going to bore you with filling
Well, check
it
out
up.
our social media. I'm sure between Instagram and Facebook, we're gonna have some pictures of it filled and running. So if you don't already follow us, you should, because you're missing out. And we'll show it filled kind of as it clears up in the next day or two, up and
Yeah.
running. Watching water fill might be a little boring for everybody. So I think next week we are back and talking about cycling.
We are.
So an important part of every aquarium setup is the cycle. So.
And most importantly, well, not most importantly, but importantly, tomorrow we're back at 1 p.m. live for the Reef LX build, the continuation of that.
Because we are here 2 days a week now.
We are.
Yes. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Reef LX build continues.
Yeah, we're talking water storage, RODI, the importance of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then.
See ya.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Remember, you can visit us online at waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. See you next week.